The Shattered Night.
For 3 days, the rain had poured relentlessly. Thunder rolled like a drum, and lightning flashed, momentarily lighting up my living room through the glass panes. I sat beside the fireplace, lost in the pages of a novel, when a sudden crack of thunder sent shivers down my spine. I jolted up, shutting the rattling window. Peering outside, I could see the darkness stretching out for miles, the trees swaying wildly as they danced in the storm. The rain had swallowed the night, casting an eerie shadow over everything. The wind howled louder, rattling the shutters as I sat alone in the dim light. The sudden power outage plunged me into darkness, and a chill ran through my body. Heart racing, I fumbled for my phone, using its dim light to find my way to the kitchen. My legs felt like lead, each step a battle against the growing panic. I searched frantically for a candle, my breath quick and shallow, heartbeats thudding in my ears. Finally, with trembling hands, I found it. But just as I was about to light it, my phone rang, its sudden noise startling me so badly I dropped the candle. It was my mother calling from London. My voice shook as I answered, explaining that I was stuck in the storm alone, in a cottage in Italy I had rented for a much-needed break. My mother's voice, comforting despite the distance, calmed my nerves. I finally managed to light the candle and took a deep breath. The flickering light cast my shadow large and distorted on the walls, making me uneasy. I peered out the window. It was a full moon night, the silver light breaking through gaps in the trees. The rain grew heavier, hammering the roof and making the shadows outside dance. I returned to the fireplace, my fear momentarily subsiding, hoping to sleep and escape the suffocating darkness. Just as my eyes began to close, a piercing screech echoed through the night. I bolted upright. The rain had stopped, leaving only an unsettling silence. I lit the candle again, peeking outside. Only the distant howls of stray dogs disturbed the stillness. My heartbeat quickened. I tried to tell myself it was just the storm, but the shriek came again louder this time. My blood ran cold. Desperation gripped me. I cowered under a blanket on the couch, sweat running down my brow despite the chill. I told myself it was my imagination. But then, something banged on the door 3 loud, deliberate knocks that echoed through the silence. My breath caught. The tales my colleagues had told me of this very cottage rushed back. Stories of a young girl, brutally murdered, her spirit wandering in search of revenge. The abandoned cottage's low rental fee suddenly made sense. Fear clamped down, paralyzing me. I hid under the table like a child playing hide and seek. I prayed silently, believing it would keep the ghost away. Time crawled by, and the banging continued, each thud louder than the last. I was frozen in place, the minutes stretching into eternity. Then, as abruptly as it began, the banging stopped. I dared to move. With shaking hands, I switched on every light in the house, convinced that brightness would protect me. Slowly, I approached the front door, my body tense with dread. I hesitated, then cracked it open. Nothing. With a surge of relief, I stepped outside. But then, my foot caught on something, and I stumbled. My heart froze as I looked down. Lying there was a young girl, her clothes stained with blood. I screamed and backed away, my heart pounding like a drum. But as I looked closer, I saw that she was not a ghost. She was flesh and blood, a terrified, wounded human being. I managed to carry her inside and gently woke her. She cried, trembling with fear, begging me to help her. She told me a horrifying story. She had been kidnapped by a gang that forced children to beg for money. Her punishment for disobeying was a brutal beating. The screams that had haunted the cottage for years were hers, not some vengeful spirits. My fear turned to rage. I called the police, who arrived just before dawn. The girl told them everything, and they launched a swift raid, arresting 5 gang members and rescuing several other children. The police commended my courage, promising an award for my bravery. Yet, it wasn't bravery that saved the day. It was a desperate girl's cry that shattered my own fear and forced me to act. Only you and I know the truth behind my night of terror. Let's keep it between us, our secret of what really happened in the Shattered Night.